Hey world, welcome to my universe. So if your universe is anything like my universe, then you very well might not care a whole heck of a lot about football. Football, however, cares a whole heck of a lot about you, or at least what you're worth to their advertisers, and this Sunday the NFL is going to make football completely and totally unavoidable with the 44th annual Super Bowl. Rather than cowering in a closet like I've done in the past for most Super Bowls so as to hide the massive vacuum in my brain where football knowledge is supposed to go, this year I have decided to arm myself with trivia. I may not know how many points a tackle's worth or how many innings have to go by until the other team gets possession of the ball, but by golly, I know at least a few random things about football. I shall impart on thee mine random knowledge of thy football, and together we shan't be considered complete and total idiots at this year's Super Bowl parties. Let's go! Over 8 million pounds of avocados will be sold this year for use in Super Bowl party guacamole. An eerie correlation seems to exist between the outcome of the Super Bowl and the direction the stock market takes in the coming year. AFC victory, bear market. NFC victory, bull market. This has a success rate of over 80%. On December 15th, 1968, Philadelphia Eagles fans pelted their halftime entertainment with an endless bombardment of snowballs. Santa Claus has not returned since. A 6-foot-tall, 200-pound football player can produce 1,600 pounds of force when tackling another player. A 6'6", 381-pound football player like Leonard Davis of the Dallas Cowboys can kill you just by looking at you. Players on the winning Super Bowl team receive a bonus of approximately $80,000. Losing team players receive approximately $40,000. The coldest ever Super Bowl was Super Bowl number 6 between Dallas and Miami. At kickoff, it was just 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Americans eat more on Super Bowl Sunday than they do on any other day of the year except for Thanksgiving. The Pittsburgh Steelers have won more Super Bowls than any other team. 6. That is 7.3% of all Super Bowls ever. 4 teams have never ever made it to the Super Bowl ever. Those are the Detroit Lions, the Cleveland Browns, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Houston Texans. The name Super Bowl was coined by former owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, Lamar Hunt, after watching his children play with a Super Ball. He suggested it as a joke, but the name stuck. Before settling on calling it the Super Bowl, however, league bigwigs were leaning towards calling it simply the Big One. Ken Norton is the only football player to have been on winning Super Bowl teams 3 years in a row. He was on the Cowboys winning team for numbers 27 and 28, and then traded to San Francisco where he won number 29. Gail Gilbert is the only football player to have been on losing Super Bowl teams 5 years in a row. He was on the Buffalo Bills for numbers 25 through 28 and San Diego for number 29. It's also worth noting that 3 of those losses were to Ken Norton. No team has ever played in a Super Bowl in their home stadium. No team has ever won a Super Bowl after losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers during the regular season. The first Super Bowl halftime show to feature a single star performer was 1993 when Michael Jackson took the stage. You are probably familiar with Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction at the 2004 halftime show, but what you might not know is that that halftime show was produced by MTV, and because of that halftime show, MTV has now been permanently banned from having any association with any halftime show ever. Right now, you are experiencing a G-force of 1. On a roller coaster, you might experience a G-force of 5. On the gridiron, football players can experience G-forces up to 150. And finally, it is estimated that at any given time during this year's Super Bowl, over 99 million people will be watching. My question for you is, will you be one of them? Tell me why or why not in a comment below, and until next time, I'm Dan Brown, and I am out.
If you like what you just saw, if Dan put you in a state of awe, subscribe to him and click the orange button. It really means something. If you do that, that'd be really cool.